Today is June 20th, 2019, and the reason why I'm saying that date is it means we are officially 6 months away from the Rise of Skywalker hitting theaters in the United States. Welcome back, everybody. This is the Resistance Broadcast. I'm John Hoey. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a great show for you today. Why? Because the Will of the Force has 5 awesome topics. We're going to sprinkle in some of the Rise of Skywalker stuff, a bunch of other stuff in there. But guys, 6 months to go until this movie comes out. But aside from that, we're a little further away from Star Wars Celebration, and we're going to have a deep dive discussion on how you can take advantage and get ahead of the game tomorrow when everything goes on sale, including the tickets, the hotels, all the tips, because Lacey has all the tricks about Celebration. So let's bring them in right now. James, Lacey, 6 months to go till the Rise of Skywalker. We're going to give them all the tips and information about Celebration. The base is open. How you guys feeling about being a part of the Resistance broadcast today?
I still feel like we need to get gates. Base is always open. Who's on guard?
Oh. So like a gate, like what kind of a gate?
I don't know. What's the one on Endor or Hoth, where they're like, the south gate is closing or something.
They never show it. It's always just like it's there.
They never show it.
They never show you the south gate, right?
No, they're like standing there looking at the south gate, and then it's like going down, and then it like
that's
closes.
Not really a gate, though, is it?
I mean, maybe they don't call it a gate. The south door is closing.
Like a garage door. Yeah.
The garage door is closing.
Right, we need a garage door space.
And then he goes, oh.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's not a gate.
I think it's gate. Is it not
I think they call
gate?
it the south entrance. How about that?
South entrance sounds right. Oh. Anyway. Hi, Lacey.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Great. Thanks for answering.
Yeah.
Ready to talk about Star Wars. Let's do this.
Yay!
Yeah.
So you guys aren't fired up that we're only 6 months away to the Rise of Skywalker, huh? Not
I got
vibing
distracted by this whole gate discussion. That went
James
on.
James likes to do that. That's James's shtick. I'll give a nice big open, and he'll just stone cold me with like some random.
Yes,
thing.
I'm super excited. We're about a month away from D23 as well, where we're going to get more information and probably a behind the scenes reel, which is very exciting. And then we're, months away from getting another trailer, and press is in full momentum for December. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I want to see how this all ends. I feel like we're in it.
We are in it. I'm actually a little nervous the more I think about it, but
Why?
I don't know. I just don't know, because I don't know what to expect, and I hope JJ doesn't overcorrect and try to get too weird, because people said he was too safe. So I hope he stays true to being a good filmmaker. But we'll see.
He wears his hood up now, so you never know. He's like a rebel.
I know that may change everything. That
he wears a sweatshirt and shorts. Like, what is happening in this world?
He's wearing all black. He's just going rogue.
He's like, yeah, fall up top, summer below. That's how JJ's rolling.
He's doing episode 9, but he's going rogue.
Yeah, his outfit is literally like a clothing mullet. But all right, guys, right. The Will of the Force is a segment that we like to do here, where we pitch hypothetical topics and we give our takes on them. So we're going to send it over to James Bainey to run through those with us right now. James, fire it up.
I fear nothing, for all this, as the Force wills it.
All right, guys. We're doing Will of the Force. And how many we got today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5? Yep, 5 questions coming straight from the mind of John 3/5 of the time, because there's 2 patron questions.
Nice.
Right. Star Wars, we're getting this started. Star Wars hasn't done this in a movie, but we know they have tried new things in recent films. So with that in mind, will there be a significant time jump during The Rise of Skywalker. John.
Oh, this is interesting.
Let's start with you, John. Give Lacey a little bit of time to think on this one. So your question is 1 year later. Hi, I'm Ray. 2 years later.
So we're talking like Avengers, right? So like in the middle of Avengers, they go 5 years later.
Whoa! Spoiler alert.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been out.
Essentially that's the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I would actually like Lacey, you give your take on this first.
No, I don't think they'll ever do this. The only way they would do it is if it's like an epilogue. Like the events take place and then it's like 5 years or 10 years later or whatever to set up maybe the next movies that they're going to do or to leave it open-ended if they wanted to do an episode 10.
So then
Or to
before you
show,
go,
like-
John, I was with Lacey. I was like, no, that I don't think they'll do that. And then she said the epilogue thing, and I'm like, shoot, that would be great because of how, I mean, look at how well that landed with Rebels, you know?
They did
Not
it with
like
Harry
they're
Potter,
testing
too.
those
Yeah.
story ideas. Yeah, but like when they kind of do it this way. But the only thing that I think that maybe they won't do that is because right now the regime behind Star Wars is like, we're letting this person tell this story and then we're totally letting so-and-so, do whatever. So I don't think they would want to say like 10 years later when they're not really thinking about that yet.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they might be though.
But yeah, they might be. But as far as like in the story goes, like I was saying before, 1 year later, hi, I'm Ray and I'm going on a mission. 2 years later, like then the result of her mission. I don't know. I don't think they would do that.
Right. I could
So
see
you're
that.
both saying no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you.
Yes.
Yeah. I think ding ding ding, 3 for 3. I don't think they will do that. The only reason why I pitched it is because of this whole idea that, they're trying new things in this trilogy. We haven't seen flashbacks before. Ryan really opened up the door and JJ acknowledged that. So I'm wondering if JJ's like, well, I can do flashbacks. I could also do this, let's jump time
Right.
So I don't know. Like imagine at the end they do something like that and they show R2 like telling the story because he's like the keeper of the wills or whatever that they refer to him as. So
You've
I don't
said
know,
that
but-
before, right? Him telling the story.
I mean, a lot of people think that. I think that might be a little too fourth wall-y for me, break the wall.
Right.
But
right.
I agree with you guys. I don't think JJ will do that. I think we're all getting a little too wild with what we think is going to happen, and this movie may stay more true north than we think. So 3 for 3.
Cool.
All right. The next one comes from our patron general, Don Boring.
Hey,
Don.
Don.
And Don wanted to know if we think we will ever see an adaptation of Star Wars that's completely dedicated to the dark side. And I started
Is this
with
a
John.
movie adaptation?
I assume so. Yeah.
Or it could be series, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we'll throw in television series into that too.
He
I
didn't
think he'd be
specify,
okay
so
with
in
that.
fairness,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of interpretation of the thing.
Sure.
I started with John last time. Lacey went first, though. But Lacey, let's get your take on this because what do you think? Do you think we'll see a movie that's dedicated to the dark side?
Well, I think the Game of Thrones guys would be perfect for a dark side viewpoint show or movie. So I would say yes. And my hope is that they eventually do Lost Stars adapted to series and or movie.
What? That's not dark side story.
It's kind of a dark side story.
The Force isn't even really in Lost Stars.
Yeah, I guess. I'm thinking more from the Empire side. I guess dark side would be more of like you're saying Force side. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say they will because I think that the Game of Thrones guys are going to do Knights of the Old Republic and it would be cool to see it from Darth Revan's side.
All right.
Yeah, part of me says that I don't think they will, but I think that
People love bad guys, though.
Yeah, but only recently have they started doing that. Like, oh, Venom, but how can we make Venom a good guy? Like,
the
Suicide
anti-hero.
Squad. But how can we make the Suicide Squad good guys?
The good guys. Yeah.
The only movie that I think, well, there might be others if people want to point me to this, but I really truly think that the Joker is going to be bad, like 100% bad, and they're just going to tell us that story.
I think that movie's gonna be bad.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think that movie's going to be phenomenal. I'm honestly thinking like multiple Academy Awards
I know you're kidding.
based on that trailer. I'm not kidding. I'm 100%.
Oh, James.
You're watching the wrong trailer then. I don't know what you're talking about. Joaquin Phoenix is phenomenal. But
He's
anyway,
not walking to go pick up any awards for this one. I'll tell you that right now.
dude, you need to watch it again with different eyes. It looks like the Ben Affleck, the movie that you always talk about, The Town. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Like that,
You don't
the way that it's
you don't have
stylized.
to get all defensive. Why so serious, James?
Yeah.
Let's put a smile on that face.
Stop. Stop it.
I hate John. All right. I don't even know where I was. John, you just answered the stupid question.
Okay. James, before I do you want to know how I got these scars? No. All right. I think they will. Will we ever see an adaptation of Star Wars that's completely dedicated to the dark side? I think we will, because I think we'll eventually get what the fans want, which is the Plagueis Palpatine story. Recanonized, young Palpatine learning the ways of his master, killing his master in a very Shakespearean tragedy sort of way, but it's obviously pure dark side. You don't need the good guys for that one. So, Palpatine's your protagonist, but he's still obviously the most evil person in the galaxy. That's how you get your full-on, completely dark side story, whether it's a series, a miniseries, or a movie. And who better to focus on than Sheevy Babe? So I think they will, and I think that's how they're going to do it. Don, let me know what you think.
What would
All
you
right.
do if they announced a Palpatine movie?
I mean, I would love it, but I'd be a little like, I don't know, because you probably don't get McDiarmid then, unless it's one of those things where like he's telling his story, which is a little weird. So
Right.
Yeah, but don't be so hung up on that. That's the like solo. But you don't get Harrison Ford if you do that.
You're right. You're absolutely right. This guy he even played a younger version of Palpatine, so it's really different for me. He owns that character more than anyone has owned a character.
Yeah. All right, and so moving on to the next one. No pies this time because you can't make a withdrawal when you already got an outstanding debt. I still got to throw pies in some people's faces. But will the Obi-Wan Kenobi series for Disney Plus be announced before Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim? And I'm going to start with John on this one.
I mean, I'm already getting hit with a pie for the last time, so I'm sliding my chips and my ship right back to the center of the sabacc table and saying, yes, we will. It will be announced before Celebration Anaheim because they need to fill that palette, that slate of stuff to cover and talk about at Celebration. And our report came out a couple of months ago. They know the report's out there. They know the fans want it. Production's got to start on this thing at some time. I think they're not going to wait till August 2020 to tell us this thing's happening. So maybe even D23 this year, if as soon as that could possibly be. I think it will be announced before Celebration 2020, for sure. Kenobi series.
All right, Lacey, what do you think?
I like how you put that, John, where you said you're putting all your chips on the sabacc table.
Yeah, thanks.
That was really
I'm feeling
nice.
good. I'm feeling good tonight. I was a little off Monday.
That was really good.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I totally agree with him. I think we're going to get this announcement earlier than Celebration. So the whole thing is because Celebration is in August, that's we have more than a year now until then. So we have a whole fall that they have to announce stuff, all spring. You have to think of how many like stakeholder calls and stuff Bob was on already this year that he's been announcing stuff with, and how quickly they announce a lot of projects in the first half of the year to get them out in front of their stakeholders and to get them into production. So yes, I also think that Solo 2 will be happening as well.
Oh God, please.
I think it will. I honestly think it will, based on many things that have taken place since Make Solo 2 Happen Day. Oh,
What?
and I'm wearing my shirt.
Wait, what are you saying?
Like all the people that are involved with it.
She's saying also she thinks that Make Solo 2 happen.
I added that in. So I'm adding
will
that to the
happen.
pile in the middle of the sabacc table.
Nice.
So I'm going to say yes on this as well. But I almost kind of, for all the same reasons, I think the stakeholder thing, and that would be an interesting conversation too, of like, when do we think they would make this announcement and try to base it maybe around like some sort of like before the,
if Kenobi ends up being in 9,
the financial year or something,
Yeah, if he ends up being in 9 in some way, they'll announce it earlier in the year.
Oh, like if they have like a Force Ghost of him at the end of the movie, then it's like coming right out of the movie. It's like,
but it can't be Ewan McGregor. We've talked
I'm
about
all
that.
in for Ewan McGregor.
yeah, I don't know. It's
As
tricky.
no, I'm not saying in the series. It's obviously him going to be playing Kenobi in the series. I'm saying as the Force Ghost in 9, that just doesn't make sense.
I think that's what Lacey was saying too. She says she's fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't care about continuity then?
Wait, what?
Okay, hold on. Let's clarify here, because Lacey was saying if they put Obi-Wan Kenobi in Episode 9 as like a Force Ghost,
Then they'll announce
John
the
is
project.
saying, I know, but John is saying he doesn't like the idea of that Force Ghost being played by Ewan McGregor because of continuity. It would have to look like Alec Guinness, is what he's saying. And then you were like, I'm all down for Ewan, but then it got lost to whether you were referring to the Ghost or him as Obi-Wan in a TV series. But
I would be okay with either or. I don't care. I think it would make sense that it's Alec, but
if it was
doesn't.
Alec, do you think they would make the Obi-Wan announcement?
Yeah.
Even if it was Alec Guinness, it's just
Yep.
Obi-Wan's back. He's there.
Yep.
Okay.
Because people are going to be talking about how Obi-Wan's
so
in the movie.
So it's a way to get people chatting
really-
about the
Yeah.
character that they're getting ready to announce TV show.
Yes.
This is way off the rails, but I really think we're going to see an Alec Guinness Obi-Wan Force Ghost in Episode 9.
Right, but I'm saying because he's in that movie, people are
No,
going to be
yeah.
like, Kenobi, yeah. And then they're going to be like, surprise, Kenobi's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I definitely hear you.
Yeah. I got all the same stuff there. Do you think there's any chance that they'll do it around Mandalorian?
Before 9? No, because they want all the attention on Mandalorian and
Bingo.
9.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially after The Last Jedi and Solo. They want all that attention, all that marketing on those two things.
Mm-hmm.
They
Yeah, I
need
guess
Mandalorian to succeed. They need 9 to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I was thinking was more like the first episode of Mandalorian comes out, and for whatever reason, like boom, great reviews, and they're like, "You love that? We're doing Obi-Wan too."
And then you get
like
the
some sort of
guy with
something
the
like
two
that, but-
girls, and you get the guy looking at Obi-Wan, and then Mandalorian looking at him all mad. Like you just steal the spotlight. That meme. I don't think they ever
Oh,
do
yeah.
that to the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think they're
That's like
putting
the
all
guy,
their
the girl, and the two
attention on
pizza
those.
places. Like, what are we talking about here?
Because they have
Um,
a lot riding on the Mandalorian, from the whole concept of it being the first TV show to Disney Plus to the
And
amount
also-
of money.
Yeah.
And also, Jon Favreau would be like, if you do that to me, I will find you and I will kill you.
Yeah, because there was some rumored tension around Celebration with the Mandalorian about how JJ didn't want it to overtake the spotlight from 9, and then Favreau was concerned about his attention from 9.
Well, I heard a legitimate tension was between Disney and Favreau, that Favreau didn't want a lot of footage being shown from The Mandalorian, and they're like, too bad.
Yeah, that too. But I think the spotlight thing is important too, because there's two competing things going on. And if that tension's already happening, then I highly doubt Favreau's going to be like, yeah, let's announce that other project that people have
I
wanted
agree.
forever.
Kenobi's going to be announced before Celebration, but it's not going to be wrapped around
In the
Mando.
Yeah, I like
craziest
that. 3
3 months of Star Wars fans' lives.
Yeah. 'Cause- 'cause they have a lot riding on the Mandalorian from the whole concept of it being the first TV show to Disney Plus to the amount of money.
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
definitely like a huge open. Oh, May the 4th. That's when it'll be. Big open space, nothing going on.
You gonna say
Somewhere in
book
the middle
it?
between.
Nothing's
Book
ever.
it.
Is anything ever announced on May the 4th?
Just the
we had
Force for
all
Change
those
stuff.
books and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
all
too.
that giant list.
No,
of
I mean
books and
anything
content and
anything
stuff.
important.
I knew that was coming.
We had all those books announced, Sean.
Ah, there he is. There he is. It's a Galaxy's Edge pop-up book. It's canon. I'm just kidding, guys.
Yeah, I know. You were just talking about all the books.
Every time someone
in our
says
chat.
canon, Pablo like looks up.
Matt Martin loses a feather from his angel wings. Just like
All right, we got a couple more. This one is another Patreon submission. This one coming from Lieutenant Derek Saunier.
hey, Derek.
And Derek wants to know, will Rey use the Skywalker lightsaber for the entirety of The Rise of Skywalker, or will it break at some point and she'll be forced to make her own? This one's going to Lacey first. What do you think? New lightsaber time?
No, I think she's using that lightsaber. That lightsaber is her lightsaber. She fixed it. They showed it in the trailer. That baby is hers. She'll be using that in the entire movie, and I think she's keeping it. John's going to disagree with me.
John.
I just had like a thought as I was thinking as I was going here. Like I didn't come prepared with this one.
I just think if
All
you
right,
got
well-
rid of it's kind of like the Millennium Falcon. Like that lightsaber is what I think of when I think of Star Wars. So like if you get rid of it, that's like one of those things that you're like, but that's been there since the beginning
I'm so opposite of that though.
of keeping things around.
No, that lightsaber. Like I hate that we've made the lightsaber like a character almost.
I don't think it's a living thing, but I think it's just like the Millennium Falcon where it's
Yeah.
a part of the series. I don't agree with the living thing. I know what you're talking about, like how it like picks who it talks to or whatever.
Yeah. You're not gonna like this answer, but I think this lightsaber is going to die with Kylo Ren. I think. With
You mean
the
go away, not die, because it's not living and breathing.
Yes. It's going to either break or disappear or fall somewhere. And when Kylo Ren dies, this lightsaber is going to go with it. You're ending the Skywalker saga. It's time to say goodbye to this heirloom as well. And then if there is some sort of mini time jump at the end of the movie, you're going to see Rey at the very end of the episode 9 with her new built lightsaber.
Which could be Kylo Ren's old lightsaber.
Nah.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
No, he's that's it. Goodbye.
He's taken both lightsabers?
Yeah, he's taking them all. Straight to galaxy, straight to hell in the galaxy far, far
D's
away.
mine now. They're all mine.
Yeah. Again, I said this last week or last Monday, but like holding on, and he's like, "That lightsaber, it belongs to me."
He's like, I know
one's
what I
mine
have
too.
to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to carry all of them.
All I'm thinking about is Kylo Ren in like Supermarket Sweep, where he's just going through the aisles, putting all the
Yeah.
lightsabers into his cart.
He's taking all the turkeys and the diapers because they're the most expensive items, and they're like, "Sir, you can only take 5 of each."
They say, "Why are you looking for the grave of Palpatine?" And he's like, "I'm not. I'm looking for the grave of General Grievous. He's got all the lightsabers."
It's an episode of Hoarders where the guy's like, "You have 15 lightsabers.
Yeah.
Do you really need every one of these?" He's like,
it's like,
"I need
well,
them all."
Yeah, you never know. I may need that Allen wrench. You never
So
know.
we're far from where we started. I still have to give my opinion on this.
This is the greatest segment of Will of the Force we've ever done.
So I can tell you what they won't do, in my opinion, which is break it at some point, because Last Jedi did that. That's done. I don't want to see that thing break and then her like put a Band-Aid on it and go, crap, it broke again. And it's like, quit using Scotch tape. But to me, I think the more likely of the two is will Rey use the lightsaber for the entirety of the Rise of Skywalker? Yes, I think that's very likely. What I think John tapped on the very end is, I actually think what's the most likely probably is she uses it all the way through the movie, and the end of the movie is like her putting it down and walking away, and we'll later find out that she has another lightsaber, or they skip a little bit of time and she's got her other one and you can just see it on her side. She never turns it on or anything, but she places the old one down somewhere, something along those lines.
Then episode 10, she busts out her lightsaber and force effects.
Or the one on her side is Kylo's. She takes it like she took or Obi-Wan took Anakin's, you know what I mean? So she's giving that one back, but then she's got Kylo's or whatever. Then she turns that one on and it's white.
His is a piece of garbage. His is like a 1987 Nissan Sentra. Like, you don't keep that around.
What? Oh, his? Yeah. Well, no, she takes his because like when he's lying on the ground and he's screaming at her, "I hate you," he's going to be like, she's like, "You had so much promise."
Right.
But
because it's poetry
Ben Solo
and it rhymes,
truly
right?
is dead.
This is really painful to listen to.
And then she's going to take the lightsaber, and then later when they show like the jump ahead or whatever, she'll have the lightsaber and it'll be white because she'll have purified it.
One of our listeners has a
cartoon fans will be like, "Yay!"
One of our listeners has a 1987 Nissan Sentra and just unsubscribed to the podcast. Like, how dare you? It's my baby.
Click, double click. Like, all right. Last one, and this would obviously have to take place in a flashback of some sort. But will JJ Abrams try to right some of the wrongs by having Han, Luke, and Leia share a scene together in The Rise of Skywalker? John, I already know your answer to this.
I don't like the phrasing of this. Right the wrongs.
I only put that in there to just, some fans feel that way. It's not a general right the wrongs. It's just like a.
How about a directorial choice?
Some fans like Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I should have wrote missed opportunities.
All right.
My answer to this is yes. It's going to happen. It's already happened. It's in a film can somewhere that they edited as they were filming, as we know. And yeah, it's going to be a magical moment, and it's going to be a wonderful thing. And yeah, I think they will. I really do think they will.
Lacey, thoughts?
I immediately want to say no, but I think because they're wrapping up the saga, they have to have at least one moment where they're all together. And I think it's going to be a flashback, probably with Ben Solo or something about Ben Solo, where we see them, I don't know, discussing him or like something to do with that, or yeah, yes, they will. That's my short answer.
We're going to see Han being Han about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the worst line, by the way.
Really?
I really didn't dig that line.
I kind of liked it.
I get it, but I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, James.
There's definitely worse lines in that movie, and most of them come from Rose. And for some reason, like, it's not her fault. She didn't write it, but whoever was writing it is like, I'm going to have her say this.
Whoever, as in Rian Johnson.
Well, no, I know. I'm just saying.
Are we far enough removed from The Last Jedi where that's not a hot take anymore?
That's not really a hot take. And there's clunky lines in every movie, to be fair.
Yeah.
I want to put my fist to that whole beautiful line of dialogue.
That beautiful town.
Yeah.
I hate that line. I'm thinking about it so bad.
I do
that and the stutter.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead, James.
I do think that they're going to do this. And the reason that they're going to do it is because if that scene is in the movie and you're walking out of the movie, who do you think would not be satisfied? Which is the word that is being used over and over and over again. Because if that scene isn't in the movie, then people are going to walk out and go, man, I wish that scene would have been in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Magical and satisfied.
It's just that conversation is going to happen. So I feel like they already are like, how are we going to make people walk out of this movie and feel good? Like, feel like everything was resolved, everything that they wanted happened in this sequel trilogy, and that, I think, is probably one of the most common answers of it's such a bummer that this never happened. So
yeah,
they're going to make it happen.
I think I agree. I think we're going to get rocked with fan service in this movie, but it's not going to be like, oh, there's the remote that Luke practiced with on the Millennium Falcon. It's going to be like, I can't believe they just pulled that off, fan service.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for Will of the Force this week. We have another segment before we get to our discussion, and that is the Patreon pod race.
What is happening?
This week it comes from our newest general. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's
true.
Our first newer generals. First pod race. We're going to Neil Lowry, who was asked the question about how does he manage to stay positive and spreading positivity in the fandom when sometimes it maybe gets a little bit negative. Let's be honest, just a little bit. So let's hear what Neil had to say.
Hello to John, Lacey and James. This is General Neil reporting in. Just a quick thought on what fans can do for positivity. Just continue to support people, promote them, what they're doing, content creators, such as podcasters yourselves, and fanfic, fan films, anything. Just enjoy what you love about Star Wars and don't bleat about what you don't like about it. Just try and foster that spirit going forward, and sure, we'll have Star Wars going on as we want it to be. So that's it, and hashtag make Solo 2 happen.
Neil, you're awesome. I love all the positivity.
I feel
so good.
I feel it again, James. The call to the light. hearing Neil there. And it really is so simple. It's support each other, promote fellow positive people in the fandom. And he seems to be focusing on the social media aspect of it, which I guess is where a lot of the negativity is. So Neil, I pitched this to you as your first pod race because you really promote the positive. I wore your positivity pin at our panel at Celebration, and I wore it with honor. And that's your first pod race, and I wanted you to just have your little moment there to explain how you kind of get through the trenches sometimes. So thanks for doing that. And next time, I promise I'll hit you with a harder topic.
Yeah, I think sometimes it could be really hard to be online and stay positive. Everybody has bad days, which is understandable, but Neil, you killed it. You always do such a good job online, and you keep it fun. And the amount of support you give to everybody in the community is unreal, and we love you for it. Yeah.
Good job, Neil.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the Patreon pod race. Good job, Neil. Let's move on to our discussion for the week. John, do you want to take away with our introduction on what we're talking about?
Obi-Wan once thought as you do.
I do. I really do. All right. So, Star Wars Celebration Anaheim. We're talking tips. We're talking advice, early thoughts, a bunch of stuff here. So Celebration Anaheim, it's over 14 months away. I know that seems like forever, but tickets and hotel bookings go on sale tomorrow if you're listening to this on Thursday when we post this. So we're here to prepare you as much as possible for tomorrow, as well as other tips regarding Celebration in Anaheim specifically, because you can never prepare too soon. Lacey over here, Lacey Gillerin. She is an expert in all things Celebration, and now that the three of us are fresh off of our first Celebration together, we thought it would be good to talk about how to tackle tomorrow's chaos so you can secure everything you need for Celebration next year. And at the end, we'll also sprinkle in a little bit of speculation on what we think we'll see. You already heard us talk about that a little bit on Monday and earlier in this episode, but we'll give our kind of general sweeping, one big thing we think we'll see announced, or a panel and a couple small things each, and then we'll close that out. So, Lacey, I think we should start with you right out of the bat, because tomorrow's a big day. I know you're even anxious as an expert in this thing, and me and James are anxious too, because you're the one who's going to be holding our hand through booking our own stuff. So,
What?
I have to say, what do people need to do tomorrow to best take advantage of getting themselves ready for Celebration?
I'm pulling up the email that came out about this. So
Get a job that pays more.
So tickets go on sale, guys, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's super important. Pacific time.
So
and
that's
then
a nooner?
hotels.
A nooner
12
Eastern?
p.m. Eastern,
That is
New York
yes,
City.
that is
Noon East,
noon
okay.
Eastern. And then 10 a.m. Pacific, which is 1 o'clock Eastern.
Wait, so I'm sorry. There's
What
a
happens
noon,
at 10-1?
Yeah, what's
So
the
9 o'clock a.m. Pacific is tickets.
Okay.
And then 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific is hotels.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they have staggered the sale of hotels and tickets, which is awesome because I believe those went around similar time last year or the year before, and it was mayhem. So the good thing is you can get your tickets first and figure out how many days you're attending, and then that can then transfer to how many days of a hotel you need. My advice would be to get really good internet, have very good internet, and then try to open up the ticket window on multiple devices. So an iPad, a phone, a computer, and because sometimes things load differently on different devices. So your best bet is having multiple devices. And then it always helps to buy with friends. So if you're going with a group of a couple friends, plan ahead that if someone gets in first, that they buy your tickets for you and then you pay them back. I don't know what the limits are offhand. I didn't look that up ahead of time, but I think it's like up to 4 or 6 tickets. So just plan ahead. They are doing the lottery system again, guys. So unless you're a VIP, which is a $900 ticket, you have to go through the lottery system again. But from what you guys said, right, it really wasn't that big of a deal, right?
I was upset a little bit that we didn't get the Win Trust, but I think we had a great time at the Star Wars show stage. So now I go into the next celebration not worrying as much about getting the arena slot.
They had like a huge sound system and like multiple screens, and the idea of just standing around people that like the same thing as you, I'm sure you just loved it, right?
Yeah, we met a bunch of people from other podcasts or just other fans. We ran into people we knew. We saw people who were listeners of us. It was just a big communal thing, and the crowd was just all into it, and it was high energy. So I wouldn't worry so much about the lotteries. If you get them, you get them. But if not, you go to that stage, Star Wars show stage. But Lacey, real quick, before we get too far ahead, I just want to quickly ask you, does that count? Like, say you said you can maybe buy 4 tickets or 6 tickets. That includes the 4-day pass, right?
Yeah. So one ticket would be either one single day or one multi-day.
Okay.
But I think they'll let you, because they've done this for New York Comic Con, which Reed Pop also runs New York Comic Con, Emerald City, and C2E2. They usually let you buy max of certain types. So if you want to buy 4 days, and say the 4 days sell out super fast, they'll usually let you buy max of single days so that you can amount up to a full day. So the pricing, I believe, is $195 for the 4-day, and then it's about $70 or something each single day. So,
yeah.
I mean, guys, even if you're going for a couple days, three of the 4 days, it makes sense to get the 4-day badge. But yeah, I mean, the hardest ticket obviously is the VIP one. If you have the $900 to spend, it's going to be crazy.
James,
Can you buy more than one VIP pass?
Yes.
Oh, so if one of us were able to get in, then we could buy.
You can buy the maximum of what's allowed. So I think it's 4.
Now, say you get in and you're able to add, it's a cart thing, right? You add it to your cart.
Yep.
Does that stay in there? Or is that you have 5 minutes to make your purchase?
You have 5.5 minutes. Well, I'm basing it on what happened for 2018. So you had, No, 2019. 2019. Sorry. I'm already
This year.
I'm already behind. Yeah. So, it was kind of the scariest thing I've ever done. So I lucked out and I got one and it was in my cart, and you have 5.5 minutes to buy it. And if you don't have your credit card ready and you're like good to go, it's a mad dash and you panic and you freak out. So my suggestion is to have your credit card out in front of you. You can actually make a ShowClicks account in advance so that all your stuff is in there, and then just buy through your ShowClicks account, because that's the ticket provider they usually use. I'm assuming it's the same people. But yeah, no, you have 5.5 minutes.
Okay.
Guys,
And there's
all
a
of
little
this is
counter.
so Apple. Like,
I know, and there's a counter
few
too
minutes
that makes you
ago-
stress more.
a few minutes ago, I was sitting there thinking about how they were doing the lotteries, and I'm like, I've gone and stood outside the Apple store to try to get phones and things like that, and sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But the lottery's great because at the end of the day, you don't have to do that line anymore, and you get in or you don't get in. You know what I mean? It's sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. They're just taking the hard work out of it.
I heard
and
people
just saying,
loved it.
we're going to give it to you. Yeah. Then you're talking about this, and I'm like, dude, let me tell you about 3 a.m. Trying to buy the phones at midnight Pacific time, 3 a.m. on Eastern, and everybody's like trying to reload the page. And they're like, there's all these tips about like getting your choice phone, setting in your favorites on the mobile app and stuff. It's like, oh my gosh. I'm
It's
just having,
honestly like the
Apple
Hunger Games with ticket
flashbacks
sales
right now.
Yeah, because there's definitely going to be a virtual queue. So usually what happens is a couple people will get in to begin with, and then the server will throttle people and put you into a queue and take you in the order that you get in there. But you have to remember that thousands and thousands and thousands of people are trying to get on here at once. So it's literally luck of the draw, guys. I know people always ask me like, how did you do it? I don't know. It was all luck, and it just happened, and I hope I'm lucky enough again. But best of luck to everybody, and just know that you'll have fun no matter what, because we both had different ticket types, and it didn't change our experience. And in fact, it was wonderful, the experience I had, but looking back on it, I wouldn't have minded being with you guys, because I feel like I missed out not being with you guys.
Well,
at times.
Yeah. I mean,
We thought it was better this way. I'm just kidding.
What a jerk. Can you believe this guy? Can you believe it?
I'm teasing.
John usually says that stuff, James. I'm really...
Well, I did the Palpatine body jump, and I spoke through James. No,
Change.
So the tickets, I think that's established then. So you painted that picture there. So I hope everybody took notes, or just listen to this again, because we'll take the extra view. That's cool. But the hotels. So we had talked about this off air, and you had said you looked into it yourself and you realized that they're locked off. So they won't be released until 10 a.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Yep. So for Chicago, when they announced the dates, I believe it was on a Monday, they released the dates. And I was actually talking to these guys at the time. And I said, I'm going to book my hotel. And they were like, you are crazy. What is wrong with you? I booked my hotel in the Hyatt McCormick Place, knowing from working at Reed Pop that's Hyatt. Where they were gonna be, the Hyatt. And that hotel block sold out in 35 minutes. So they were smarter this time. And when they announced the dates, I immediately went on the Hilton website and the Marriott website, which when you go to the Anaheim Convention Center, it's this long plaza and the convention center is at the end. And then on either side is a hotel. So there's the Hilton on one side, which is connected to the convention center. And then there's the Marriott. It doesn't really matter if it's connected or not, because they're so close. You walk outside the door and just walk 100 feet. It's the same place they have WonderCon and D23.
Right. And if you don't get a hotel, you can stay at Black Series Rebels' personal houses, for $10 a night. And that's it.
But yeah, so
Steve's mom's cooking pancakes.
Oh, so I looked up the hotels immediately as soon as they announced this, and they didn't have any dates listed up until I think June was the last month they had that you could book. So then I went even deeper, and I looked on Expedia, and again, they had blocked off basically everything in that mile to 2 mile radius. Any decent hotel, from Residence Inn, Hilton, Marriott, Courtyard, all those things are locked up. So I'm sure Disney plays a part in that and is like, yo, you better not sell these hotel rooms.
Lacey, devil's advocate.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt, but I'll forget
okay.
about this. How far out can someone go, like today, and book a hotel that's not locked up? Is it 4 miles? Do you think it's 5 miles? Maybe
they have stuff that's like, they have the cheaper motels that are out like not even half a mile away.
Okay,
I'm talking the nicer ones that are next to the convention center that are in probably the official room block, which is going to give you a discount. Those are all locked up.
Because Chicago, even, half a mile away, or wherever the one I booked as the backup, and a lot of people had problems getting anywhere near it. So
way more hotels in this area because of Disneyland.
So people who went to Chicago, maybe as their first celebration, they're listening to this and they're like, man, I hope it's not like Chicago. So
it's not.
To paint the picture, it's way more options for you, even though Airbnbs may or not be shut down. Hotel and motel wise, it's going to be way easier for you to get something around the area than it was in Chicago.
A ton of, it's like every 20 feet is a hotel, because Disneyland is a literal 10-minute walk away from the convention center. So yeah, no, you're going to have no problem getting a hotel.
Okay. Yeah, we just want to paint that picture.
You'll just maybe not get in the main one, but you'll get in the area.
Right. And if you want to come, if there's a meetup somewhere, you'll still be allowed to come to the meetups at the main hotels.
Yeah. You can hang out in the bars at the main hotels. That's usually where everybody is.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because it's like we're talking about it, and I'm getting that anxieties from when we were booking our hotels for Chicago. I just want to paint that picture for people that it's going to be way easier hotel-wise.
So many hotels
for this. So don't worry about that as much as if you're trying to get a VIP ticket to the convention.
Yeah, when you walk from the convention center to Disneyland, you probably pass 30 hotels in that 10-minute walk.
You said it was a 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
So
There's it's literally every 10 feet is another hotel, and then they go back too. So you have
what's that, about a mile? Like Disneyland's about a mile from the main convention or so?
I guess.
And is it
10-minute walk is more than a mile?
Is it? I could walk a mile in 10 minutes.
I would say between a mile and a mile and a half.
Well,
depends how fast you're walking.
Is it an easy walk, or are you walking on a freeway? Walk. Is it?
No. It's a nice just main street that you walk down. Helpful tip: Disney runs shuttles across the street from the hotel and the Disney parking lot. So if you go out of the convention center and walk across the street and then get on the Toy Story bus, it will take you right there.
Nice.
And the bus is free.
Free bus. You can ride with Forky right to Disneyland. Very nice.
Cool. I'll take that, and I could probably sell that bus, make some money back.
Free rides on the bus.
Free rides on the bus.
Oh.
No. No matter what. All right.
All right. Do you guys want to talk about what we think
James
will be at
is
Celebration?
not being himself tonight.
James is being like Forky from Toy Story 4.
Zany Baney. What's the next question?
What is the next question? Is there anything else we need to cover for that wise? I guess we're good there, right? So we kind of laid out the groundwork there.
I would just not panic, because the other thing is I booked the hotel for us leading up to Chicago, and I had issues with the hotel. And I was able to...
Guess what you're doing tomorrow?
Getting a hotel.
For us.
And I was able to book a hotel room 2 weeks out. It wasn't cheap, but I was able to book one. So don't panic, because it works out. And also figure out friends now, or book your hotel and just cancel it if you can't use it.
If you don't have any friends, make them today. And then so that tomorrow.
Well, I meant friends make buying groups and stuff.
Oh, I'm
that
just kidding.
Helps.
Yeah, I'm just kidding around. All right. So that is good.
Are on your own.
Thank you, Lacey, for that information. Everyone, heed that advice, because it's good advice. And good luck tomorrow with all that. But James, so you want to fire up some brief speculations on what we may see at Celebration next year? We touched on this earlier and a Monday. So why don't you tell me what's your big heavy hit panel that you think we're going to see at Celebration, and maybe a smaller one?
I don't know. I was I was thinking about this earlier. I was like, we've kind of talked about this before, but I think there's probably, since there's no movies that they're going to talk about, I think it's got to be all television stuff. It's got to be Mandalorian. It's got to be Cassian Andor. Probably that Obi-Wan Kenobi. And then I don't know, like at the time that this will happen, if there's not a new animated show around, Resistance will be their biggest animated show.
That is rough.
Well, they'll also
And that's
Clone
all-
Wars will have already
yeah.
come out, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But
It's-
isn't
it's-
Empire's anniversary next year?
Yes, they will do a 40th anniversary for the Empire Strikes Back panel without a doubt.
John better be in that panel.
If I don't get that panel, I'm starting a YouTube channel. And that is that. I think they have to. it's such a bad bit, but whatever. I think they have to give us a movie panel of some sort. It's Star Wars. This is a movie franchise first. It always will be.
I think they're going to do a future of the films, because they did that at 2016 Celebration where they were like the future, like what's coming.
If there's not going to be a celebration in 2021, that means the next celebration is going to be the year that David Benioff and D.B. Wise's movie comes out.
And that's when you get your first trailer and all that other stuff. It's going to be the same deal.
Maybe. But I would not be surprised if they appear at Celebration next year to start ramping up this next era in Star Wars films. That would not surprise me in the least. This is the next thing these guys are going to be working on, so they should be well underway with writing. We may get the story reveal or like the title reveal or something like that, or maybe this person's going to be in it, like here's our new actor, but without much other information. I think we may get a movie panel of that sort for the future of Star Wars, because they need to ensure the audience that the future of Star Wars movies is still a focus, even though we are all excited about Disney Plus. It can't just all be about Disney Plus, because not everyone's going to be buying that streaming service.
Right.
I think it can 2.5 years before any movies come out. And then they're like, when we get serious about the movies, we will have a celebration for the movies. And that's coming in 2022. I really don't think you're going to get much movie information. I hear what you're saying. I think it's going to be celebration of old movies and focus right now in our current mid-movie timeline cycle or whatever on the content that's right in front of us. I think that's going to be it. But I could also see people, based on like what we got last year, and then we'll probably get in 2022, people looking at 2021 walking out and going, it was okay, it was fun, I had a good time, nothing major, nothing crazy, no massive announcements nobody expected, just the basic stuff. Mandalorian season whatever announcement,
Solo 2.
Cassian Andor, Solo 2. I mean, that could be
I think
cool.
Kenobi and Solo 2
But
are
I don't
gonna
think they're going to
be
do
talked
movie
about.
announcements and stuff. Yeah.
Unless they do Disney Plus movies.
Are we going to?
Well, he said they weren't going to, but
Are
as
we
of
going to
now.
be that?
yeah, as of then.
I don't know if crass is the word. Someone correct me. Are we going to?
Crass?
If they make a Solo sequel, whether it's a series or a movie, are we going to make sure it's the same made Solo 2 happen?
We
I
did.
think so.
And just-
I do.
and
We
just be
made it.
like people. It's going to be such. We're going to look like such jerks. But
But at the same time, it's such a happy thing.
if we
I
do it
wouldn't
as
even feel
like
jerky
fans
about it.
together did it,
Yes.
yeah. Not like, I'm not saying the three of us and we only make 3 shirts and we're like,
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Oh no! I
an
thought
awesome
you were
moment
saying
for the community,
3 shirts,
though.
as in like James made Solo 2 happen,
Oh, no,
Lacey
no.
made Solo 2 happen,
right.
and John made Solo 2 happen.
yeah.
Honestly, how awesome would it be for the community if something positive came out of all of this?
I will probably literally cry if they ever
Yeah,
announce
cry.
a Solo sequel, series or movie.
I would be so overwhelmed that something actually positive happened from social media.
So I know. So Lacey, big panel at next year's celebration. Is it just the TV stuff? What's going on?
I think it's going to be Empire Strikes Back, like the Phantom Menace.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it's going to be.
Well, okay, wait, real quick. What did we get this year? I'm going to write it down. We got the
Phantom
Last
Menace.
Jedi panel.
Galaxy's Edge.
Sorry, Episode 9 panel.
Yep.
Right?
Galaxy's Edge.
And then we got Galaxy's Edge.
Mando.
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, but I don't think that was like...
The 4 big main ones were Episode 9, Galaxy's
Phantom
Edge,
Menace,
Phantom
Menace,
Menace, and Mando.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Episode 9 panel is going to be replaced with the television. Or do you think they'll split it up? Like they'll do a Cassian Andor panel and then a Mandalorian panel.
No, they'll do a block. They'll do a
TV panel.
Yeah.
So Disney Plus channel.
Unless it's
because
Kenobi.
I'm thinking of like New York Comic Con and the way Marvel does things. Marvel does like, and even D23. D23 does a live action panel and then an animation panel. I could see them doing a movie panel and a TV panel, and then an Empire Strikes Back panel.
Okay, well, so the Phantom Menace panel.
You have to remember they're probably not going to do programming on Thursday.
No.
So you only need 3 panels.
Oh, that's a good point. So you only need 3 panels.
Movies, TV, Empire Strikes Back.
But no movies.
I'm telling you, they're going to do the future of movies, and that's if they don't announce another movie between now and then. They could totally change their minds 2 months from now and be like, psych, we're doing a Kenobi movie.
But if they
Episode
announce
9 ends, they're like,
another
"Episode
movie, it's
10?"
not like you're going to get information on that and not on the Benioff and Weiss stuff. I don't know.
Interesting. All right.
I'm not entirely sold on that, but I do like the idea of them doing like Disney Plus or like live action or whatever, and then if they did like an animation panel, which was their current shows, and then like future slates, and maybe that's where you get like I'm making it up, but like we're bringing Rebels back or whatever,
right.
Some sort of surprise
An
announcement
Ezra
that could be kind of cool, or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's more likely than a movie panel. I don't know.
So
is
what
there
they
any
do
sort
with
of
the
like
what they do with the Marvel ones is they'll have a block of multiple shows. So they'll have like Daredevil comes out, and then Jessica Jones comes out, and then they did Defenders at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So they do like a bunch of different shows. It's like a block panel. So they'll do a 2-hour panel instead of a 1-hour panel, and then each show has a half an hour.
If Kenobi's announced, I would think that gets its own
You
panel.
mean
though.
when it's announced?
Right. I got to be more confident about that.
You don't think they would put that with Mandalorian and
No.
Cassian?
If
It's gonna be its own
Mandalorian
thing.
got its own panel, Ewan McGregor is getting his own panel for Kenobi.
Because Mandalorian will be out at this point.
Pedro Pascal got his own panel. I think Ewan McGregor is going to get his own panel.
Yeah. All right.
And if I'm wrong, whatever. Go find this episode, James, and prove me wrong.
No.
Future
I mean, it makes
James,
sense.
come find
Future
me.
James, come find it.
Yeah, I am looking at them saying, that we gave a whole panel to this thing, Galaxy's Edge or whatever, and I could
We
see
gave a
them
whole
saying, there's
1-hour
there's
commercial.
enough content. Yeah, there's enough content for one show that one show could get their own panel, especially when Mandalorian did get its own panel. Although I kind of think the reason it got its own panel was because it was the first of its kind.
First, yeah.
Whereas
Right.
the next time they do
Favreau's
it, they
big
could be
time.
like,
Yeah.
here's our television panel.
Well,
Right.
D23 is just 2 block panels. They do live action where they go through like Mary Poppins, Lion King, all this other stuff. And then they do animation, which was Coco and Wreck-It Ralph and that new Elf thing they just showed the other day with Tom
See, that-
Holland.
Yeah, but that's the thing that
Chris
I'm talking
Pratt.
about is like, no matter how big it is, they're still saying live
Yep.
action.
They
Boom,
shove
there
it all
is.
together. Star Wars
That's
was
why I'm
with
saying
Lion
Star
King
Wars would
and Mary
do
Poppins.
television. No matter how big it is, this is
Yeah.
our television panel.
Yeah, but D23 is all Disney. Star Wars Celebration is Star Wars. You can isolate. You don't have to worry about the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's different.
I see
different
both
animal.
sides.
But you know what I
think
do
we've
want to
talked
know? I want to know what you guys think about all this. About
Woo!
Celebration. So let us know in the comments, are you going to Celebration? Are you buying tickets tomorrow? Are you booking your hotel? And what do you think you're going to see at Celebration? What do you think about our theories and our thoughts and our wild tinfoil hat ideas? And what do you want to see at Celebration next year? And hopefully we do see you there, because we'll be there, and so will the whole Star Wars Newsnet crew. But guys, we are getting up against time. We will talk more about Celebration, but we hope this gave you a little informative idea of what to do tomorrow and in the future as you prepare for Celebration, and also a little fun speculation time there. So right now, though, we do have to take it to you guys and your tweets. So Lacey is going to fire up Resistance Transmissions and take us out, hopefully with some laughs, to end today's show. So Lacey, take it away.
All right, guys, it's time for Resistance Transmissions. So every week, John puts up a crazy, wacky situation, and you guys give your answers. So this week's situation is, leaks are a part of a film fan culture, but what if JJ Abrams put out his own fake leaks to throw people off about the Rise of Skywalker? Come up with a fake leak for JJ Abrams to use. All right, first up is pilot number 4 at Odal Adam. And he says, rumor has it that the MacGuffin of the Rise of Skywalker will be some sort of hatch that the group is trying to open. That's a Lost callback. Resistance Transmissions. Wow. Nice.
Oh. A lot. I thought you were saying it was a Lost callback, but it's a callback from Lost.
Yeah, a Lost TV show callback.
Yeah. Clever. Forgotten.
Next is Patrick Covey at Gannon136.
Hey, we know Pat.
There he is.
Pat says Rob Schneider has a pivotal role in this film that may turn the tides of Star Wars as we know it. Rob Schneider is a carrot.
He's a carrot.
I heard that one.
Oh my God,
I think it's believable.
Rob Schneider is. Good job, Pat. Next is Kylo 10 at Fulcrum Andor. And they said episode 9 has actually been filmed entirely with a Super 8.
There you go. Yeah.
Super 9.
I love the sound of those cameras.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Next is Dynasty of the Force at Force_Herald. And they said, Bigger Luke is the true villain of the saga.
Oh my God. Talk about the wildest theories of theories out there. How about that?
Jeez. Next is Mike Harris at Sky Mauler. And he said, despite constant rumors and hopes, Hayden Christensen will not be returning to play Anakin in The Rise of Skywalker because Jake Lloyd is.
Whoa!
Oh.
What?
Anakin walks back. He's like 35 and he's like, yippee. Back.
He's like smoking a cigarette.
He's like, yeah, I'm back. Yippee. Give me my check.
Next is Stephen N. Santa at Stephen N. Santa.
Oh, getting that
says
hand.
Ahmed Best was spotted on the Rise of Skywalker set wearing the Kylo Ren costume. Could it be that it's actually not Adam Driver under the mask, but Jar Jar Binks?
This is totally possible.
You got
Like if you
him.
think about how the mask has
Steven.
like a kind of a snouty look to it.
Yeah. He's just walking around like...
He doesn't have shoes or boots. He's just got his feet out. Yeah.
Misa, let the past die.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right.
What's the
Next is Younglings Podcast at Younglings TV. Oh, he's back. And they said Sebastian Stan will be playing a young Luke Skywalker in flashbacks.
James must love that one.
Jeez. No. Next is Dekine Vacants at Dekine Vacants. And he said, hi, Mark. The Rise of Skywalker is part of the Cloverfield cinematic universe.
Oh, mama.
That would be nuts.
Next is
The
Aaron
Cloverfield
Gould.
monster is the is the... Oh, I can't think of what it's called now. The thing that we always
Rancor?
talk about. The Zillow Beast. No, it's the Zillow Beast.
Wow. Or jacked fish.
Or Jackfish. Next is Aaron Gould at I am Aaron Gould. Hey, man. And they wrote, The Rise of Skywalker ends with Shmi Skywalker waking up in bed and saying, I just had the most awful dream. And she rolls over to face Watto. Oh my God. Who responds, me don't like bad dreams. Eh. And then cut to John Williams music and directed by JJ.
Lacey, do your best Watto impression.
No, you do it.
Me don't like bad dreams. James, can you do it?
No, not that terrible.
You guys are not fun. You're no fun.
I can't do it. I'm not deep enough. He's like, ugh.
All right.
Deep voice.
Right.
John, he has a deep voice.
I realize. Yes.
And last but not least is Liam Breezier at Liam Breezier, who's a extremely talented artist.
He is.
I
and he
have
also
his
got
Last
his handle,
Jedi print.
more importantly.
Yes, I have his Last Jedi print with Rey. She's like hovering and there's a falcon. It's so cool. He does a lot of solo stuff. That is not a brag. I'm bragging about him. I'm not bragging about knowing him. I mean, if you want to be friends, Liam. Cool.
So you are bragging. You're bragging.
No, I'm
about
begging
him
to be friends with me. Okay. And he said, at a critical point in the Rise of Skywalker, the score swells, characters look tense, lightsabers ignite, then Chewie coughs up a giant fur ball and formally apologizes, revealing he could speak perfect English the entire time.
Wow. That is a twist. ...
Palpatine is totally shocked by this and dies of a heart attack.
They don't keep aspirin around the Death Star.
Could you imagine? Chewie's just like, I'm sorry, good sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. If you want to be on the show, make sure to follow us on RB at RBATSWNN. And keep an eye out for the crazy situation that John puts up. And then you give your creative, fun answers, and I read them on the show.
Right.
Back to you, John.
This is going to be the quickest outro of all time because this is a long episode. So thank you guys so much for supporting the Resistance broadcast, for listening and watching. Make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/Resistance broadcast. We post new and exclusive content on there every day. We like to think we're the most active Patreon page in the whole galaxy. We'll see, but go check out the page. We start at $2 a month. We have 5 tiers. Join the Resistance. If you can't get enough of us Monday through Thursday, join our Patreon page. You'll get way more of us over there. Head to StarWarsNewsNet.com. That's our website for your latest news, reviews, editorials, information, and more. I want to give a special shout out to our Patreon generals, Carmelo, Brian Shalito, Don Boring, Andrew Staley, Len Brown, Neil Lowry, Jeremy Myers, and Val Trichkoff. We salute you, gentlemen. And if you guys hear about these Make Solo 2 Happen t-shirts, you can get those at tpublic.com/user/resistance broadcast. If you're watching on YouTube, Lacey's wearing one right now. James made the design. We have 40 other designs on there, including things like Gary the Pork, Supreme Leader. A lot of good designs. Check it out. Pick one up. Kane and Jarrus, our Resistance broadcast logo, all that good stuff. You guys can find me, John Hoey, on Twitter at Johnny Hoey. Way to get your handle, bro. And writing and editing over at StarWarsNewsNet.com. James Bainey, where can people shout out to you?
You can reach me at Myra Trunks. Way to get your handle, Future Trunks.
Future Trunks.
Yeah, that's my name, Future Trunks. All right. Lacey, what about you?
People can find me on Twitter at Lacey Gillerin and reminding you to # Make Solo 2 Happen.
Excellent.
Hey.
Excellent. Guys, thank you so much for listening, for watching.
Did you thank our generals?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, generals.
Where are you right now? Where's your brain?
Where do you get off?
Lacey, I tell you what, how about you thank all the generals right now? Go ahead.
Hold on, let me pull up the sheet. Just so I don't miss anybody.
So they're
Thank
getting a
you,
double
Carmelo,
dose.
aka Gray Jedi, Brian Sholito, Don Boring, Andrew Staley, Len Brown, Neil Lowry, Jeremy Myers, and Val Trishkoff. Is that right?
Yes.
Are you saying,
Thanks,
did you say
guys.
Val's name right?
I don't know. Is Trishkoff how you say it?
Yeah, well,
Oh
you'll
my god,
find
my
out.
cat's going crazy.
You'll find out when he messages you. All right,
I'm sorry,
guys.
Val.
So
Your cat just asked
that
if he thanked the general.
is it. Thank you again for being a part of the Resistance. Please spread the word of our show. Share a YouTube link. Share an Apple Podcast link with someone you know who likes Star Wars. Because guess what? A lot of people don't know about Star Wars podcasts, but you can change all that. So enjoy your weekends. We'll see you again on Monday morning with another brand new episode right here on the Resistance broadcast. We'll see you around, kids.
Yay!